fabulous artists. Today we are continuing our sculpture series and we are going to also continue to use household items like plastic cups. People for years have been making containers to put things in, and basket making is a tradition in a lot of different cultures. Today I'm going to show you how to use supplies that you have around the house to make a basket. This little basket I wove with paper, and this basket I wove with yarn. I'm going to show you both options. The first thing I want you to do is gather some supplies. You're going to need a plastic cup, paper or yarn, some glue, and definitely scissors. The first thing I'm going to show you is something that if you're using yarn or paper, you'll need to do. You are going to cut your cup all the way down to the bottom like I'm doing, or you could go about halfway down like you see in the corner there. If you go about halfway down, it won't take you as long. Just depends on what you want. You're going to cut carefully through the cup, and then we need to count how many cuts you made. I'll speed this up. You need to count because you need an odd number of cuts. That's going to make your weaving successful. I hold down on number 1 and then I go around and I count. 11, 12. So I need 2 more to make 13. You could do 9, you could do 15. As long as you have an odd number of cuts, your weaving will be successful. Here's how we're going to make the paper strips. For the paper strip option, I pulled some pages out of a magazine and I folded them in half. Once they were in half and gave me sort of the halfway fold mark, I used that line as a rough guide to cut down the pages. Then I just separated those pages, folded them in half, then in half again, and then one more time to make them sort of thin. I made a whole bunch of those because once I started weaving, I wanted them all to be ready. So now it's time for the weaving. When I start weaving, I slowed this down a little bit. I want to make sure that I'm going over, under, over, under. So you can see my paper strip is going over one of those plastic strips. Then I'm pulling it behind. And now it's under the plastic strip, over and then under. And I'm going to keep going around the cup, going over and under and over and under. Since I have an odd number of cuts, I won't have to worry about where the start is or the end is. I will just keep going over and under and over and under. When I get to the end of one of my strips, it's really easy to add more. I'm going to open up that little V just a little bit, and then all I need to do is slip my paper in. If I slip it in far enough, it'll just sort of hold on it to itself. And then I can keep going over and under and over and under and around. Occasionally, I want to pull those strips down so that it makes a nice, neat weave all the way around. Using yarn is really similar, but it does take a little bit longer. What I'm doing is I'm reaching in the bottom of the cup and taping, there you can see, I'm taping some yarn into the bottom of the cup. Then I pull the yarn through one of the slots and start weaving just like I did with the paper, over and under, or on top and behind is another way you could think about it. And as I'm working, I just gently pull one of those pieces of cup down and wrap the yarn either in front or behind it. This is a little easier than the paper because it's not as slippery, but it does take a little bit longer. It depends on what you're thinking you want your finished product to look like. All right, I really sped this up a bunch. You can see it does take a while. And as I'm working, I remember to go over and under or on top and behind, and then I will also occasionally push down on the yarn to make sure things are looking nice and neat. All right, I'm almost done. When I'm to the very top and can't fit anymore, the easy way to finish it is just to snip off a little bit of yarn and then pull it into the inside of the cup. You're going to find one of the little loops, tuck it behind a loop, and just pull it down carefully. Pretty easy. It's pretty sturdy in there. Then what you see me doing is just sort of moving the yarn around the way I want it so everything looks nice and neat. I hope you all consider using a cup to weave around. If you do, make sure you share a picture with me and have fun. Bye!